What's up guys, Sammy Mong here, back with a crafting guide for Riders of Icarus. Before we jump into this video, if you haven't already, go check out a resources gathering guide for lower levels, because you have to gather all these resources, you have to gather resources to craft for your first time before you jump into the city. So at level 8 and all the way up until level 8, you're in Bracara's forest, where you can gather resources, but you can't craft anything yet because you've not made it to Hakene's Crossing. And this is where you can first craft items. You've got every category here. You've got the familiars, you've got the cookery, jewelry, you've then got the alchemy, and of course weapon and armor smithing. But they all require ingredients that you've picked up from the previous area. So go check out that video. It'll tell you where to find or how to obtain, say, tough meat, health elixirs, fainted spirit radiance, silver ore, and obviously copper ore for armor and weapon crafting, guys. And once you've got that, then you're set to come on over to this video and start crafting away. But guys, we're going to jump straight into it. I am going to, for the remainder of this video, be in the armor and weapon crafting area, because every sort of shop or every category of crafting, so we're currently in armor and weapon. Let's say use the jewelry shop, for example. It would look like this. It would have the jewelry trainer, it would have the jewelry shop, and then it would have a jewelry stand. So there's not too much to showcase per shop, but there is enough information to go through each category separately. Now obviously, once you've got all these copper ores, all these standard ingredients that you need to craft, you can come over to the city and start crafting. And crafting is very interesting in this game. As you can see, to craft swords, scepters, great swords, daggers, you need copper ingots. To get copper ingots, you need copper ore. So once you've got the copper ore, you can simply come over here. You can buy the secondary ingredient for any crafting. So this goes for all of them. Secondary ingredients, so sweet sauce, crude dark essence, crude concentrate, crude solvent, crude reducing agent, and crude reducing agent again. You can buy all of that at the shop within the crafting area. So if we go into process material, there we go, reducing agent. You only need the first naturally gained resource, technically, and then you can go ahead and buy the secondary resource. But what you want to do is, say I wanted to craft a copper staff. Craft copper ingots, and you can get your copper ingots to craft a copper staff. It's that simple. Obviously the crude wood, once again, can be brought from the shop. But what I like about it is that it's at the top you can see it says mastered. Okay, it says mastered. What this means is that once you've fully mastered 2 items on the list, you can go over to the trainer once you're level 10 and train in that category. I have to be level 10 to do it. That's why I can't do it at the moment. And you can see that I've mastered a few of them. I've got the arm mastered, got the bada crafting mastered, alchemy, not really cooking. But once you've mastered it, it'll technically unlock stage 2, and then you can go on and make more stuff from there. Now, I haven't unlocked it, so don't take my word for it, but I'm pretty sure when you unlock stage 2, you would only unlock the things that you've mastered. So once I've trained to level 10, or I've got to level 10, and I've trained in armor or weapon crafting, I would only get stage 2 of the copper staff and copper ingot, which would obviously then require higher leveled materials that I would gain in the Hakene's Highlands, rather than the Bracar Forest, which I've previously gained my materials from. Because I've not been there, I've not started questing in the Hakene's Highlands yet, okay? So I'm unsure of what materials are there, and as I said, I'm unsure of whether it will give you all of the stage 2 items, or just the ones you've mastered. But you do need to be level 10, and you do need to have mastered at least 2 things on the current list. So as a wizard, I've gone for staff, whereas as a priest you'd probably want to go for scepter. Assassin, you'd want dagger. What is it? A berserker, so the 2-handed melee damage guy, you want a great sword. And then obviously the guardian, the tank of the game, you'd want a copper sword. And copper also spreads on to armor, but it is also combined with cloth on armor. So copper in armor is used for the berserker and who is he? I keep forgetting his name. The Guardian, okay, which is more for the heavy armor, the chest plates, the metal chest plates. And then when you get further down the line, you'll need cloth. And now cloth you can gather by killing just human enemies, so orcs or beasts like that. And cloth is used to make mage armor, okay, so devout boots, although that's the priest armor, sorry. Mage is arcane, priest is devout. And as you can see, it requires cloth rather than copper alloys, which is what you make from the copper ore, and then rough cloth bolt is what you make from the rough cloth. As you can see, I've mastered that as well, and I've mastered the arcane robe. So once I level up, as I said, probably going to get stage 2 of both them items, and then if you want to level up to stage 2 of all the other items, you're probably going to have to master this first. So say I wanted stage 2 cloth gloves, arcane cloth gloves, I'd probably have to master the first stage of them, so these rough cloth arcane gloves, and then it would unlock. But be sure to check back to our channel on our more advanced crafting guide once we've got to that level. And going down the list, guys, it is literally the same thing. You just need to gather a first natural ingredient. For jewelry, it's silver ore, and it's not too much in this one. You just get silver ore and change it to powder, and then either make rings or necklaces. This is more categorized to a few of them. As you can see, physical rings for the physical characters, and then magic rings for the priest and wizard. And then it goes down into necklaces. Barter crafting, this is another ingredient you get from killing. So unlike, say, alchemy, where you collect mushrooms, or weapon and armor, where you collect copper or silver ore, just like jewelry, you actually get a lot of ingredients or resources from killing. So one of them being the rough cloth bolt for armor, hunting humans, beasts, orcs, like I said, and then barters from hunting sort of like more spiritual slash particle-y fairies, imps, spirits, you know, that sort of essence, sort of gift or gift or guide, or just sort of what's the word? Just sort of like the essence category or the essence type. They're not fully there. They're like mystic sort of. I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I'm on about, guys. You get physical beasts, then you get these fairy type of beasts. But moving on, you do have to collect other things. You get mushrooms. I'm guessing once you get onto stage 2, there'd be different types of mushrooms, different types of plants and herbs that you collect. Health elixirs can be brought at the shop, but if you go into my inventory right now, I've picked up a few health elixirs and potions throughout just grinding away up to this level, so they're not too hard to get hold of. And moving on to cooking, tough meat, that's literally from just hunting animals, boars, kangaroos, flying creatures, I don't know. It is pretty goddamn easy, and for an MMO RPG, I like this crafting. There's not a ridiculous amount of materials needed at the lower levels. You don't have to work your head around it, be like, how do I do this? How do I do that? Why do I have to learn this million items before? And all of that is simple. Master 2 items and you can level up your stage and start crafting better items. And yeah, like, it's as simple as that. I absolutely love it. None of the stuff I found at the moment are too usable, as in like the copper staff's not as good as the staff that I've picked up on my way to this area. So it is decent stuff if you want to replace your stuff and start working on an armor piece you've created. But for the moment, I'm using it as a main source just to get money. Honestly, it is so useful to start earning money in the lower levels via crafting. It's unreal. I will be doing a gold guide on it, so be sure to check that out too. But until that time comes, guys, be sure to check our channel for plenty of other games and guides, of course, on Riders of Icarus. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, our links are in the description as well. But until next time, thanks, and I'll see you on the next video.